Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie. Today I'm going to be talking about 24 lessons that I learned in 2024. This video is a little bit overdue, but that's okay. We do it all in our own time, don't we? So yeah. Number one, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This goes for how you feel, certain thoughts you may observe, and what you hear, especially when it's about you. You don't have to take on other people's beliefs as fact, even if they're close people to you and they feel like they know you better than you know yourself. No one knows you better than you know yourself. So take what resonates and what you want to take on as your own and leave what doesn't. Number two, people are always projecting, and that includes you and me. Whenever someone gives you their opinion about decisions or choices you've made in your own life, they're most likely projecting their own fears and limiting beliefs onto you. It's not that your parents don't believe in you, it's not that your friends don't have faith that you'll achieve this goal or dream of yours. It's that they wouldn't have the capacity to dream that big right now. They wouldn't have the self-belief that you have to achieve that goal, so they project their own fears onto you. But this is such a subconscious thing, it's nothing to be taken personally. Number three, let go and let things flow. I'm talking about this in a creative sense, but I suppose this works for pretty much everything else as well. If you've become consumed by a project that you want to complete or a painting you want to complete, that's my example. Stop thinking logically about it for so long and just forget about it for a couple days or a week or so. Not thinking logically about how this painting or piece of artwork is going to come together, or whatever it might be in your life, is so beneficial. You'll find that when you're out of your head and you're in a space where you can operate from playfulness and curiosity, that's when your soul can just come through with no restrictions and just everything will effortlessly happen. It's such a wonderful experience to go through that, but you need to let go and just trust fall into the universe, basically. Number four, relaxing is essential to keep going and for consistency. I don't mean take a 2-week break every 6 weeks. I mean in your day-to-day life, take time for yourself to relax and let go of the day's stresses and worries or limitations. I know what it's like. You set all your goals, you were ready to go. In that moment, you were raring to go. Absolutely nothing could stop you from sticking to this schedule. And then you hit a wall. You've worked so hard on all of this content creation, you've worked so hard on your studying, and then all of a sudden your body goes, I have no more ideas, I have nothing left to give, because you've been giving and giving and you haven't been giving back to yourself. Yourself hasn't been able to relax or recuperate, therefore you can't carry on. Another word for this is called burnout. I'm sure you're familiar with it. All of a sudden, ideas stop flowing, everything seems to be slowing down, like nothing really seems to be going as smoothly as it was before. Maybe you keep getting colds, maybe you keep getting injured, maybe you keep like tripping up things, or just like little things like that. Maybe your hair's just not doing what you want it to anymore and things just don't seem to be going your way. Maybe you're starting to feel really tired and fatigued and your body just aches. That's a sign of burnout, and that's a sign from the universe to say, hey, hello, please just slow down and have some rest. Make sure to prioritise your relaxation. Maybe you watch a bit of Netflix before bed, maybe you do a hair mask once a week, maybe you have an afternoon to yourself once a week where you can just relax and do what you want to do for fun and not for monetization or work. Number five, it is not selfish to protect your energy. You're allowed to say no, and you're allowed to set boundaries with people. This is something that has taken me so long to learn. But it's okay to say no, and it's okay and actually good to set boundaries. At the end of the day, you're living your life, so you may as well do what makes you feel good. Number six. This one goes in with what I just said, really. Stopping people pleasing is hard. It is so difficult to go from being a people pleaser and being at everyone's foot, everyone's doormat for so many years, and then all of a sudden you start setting boundaries. All of a sudden you start saying no. All of a sudden people aren't getting what they used to get from you, and they make you feel like you're being selfish. But it's not selfish. You're not selfish for protecting your own energy. I'm repeating that. You're not selfish for protecting your own energy. Stopping people pleasing triggers so many people who used to benefit from you being their doormat. It's very uncomfortable to go through this, setting boundaries and keeping to your boundaries, but it lets you know in the future who's going to respect your boundaries and who won't. And then from then on, you will know who's going to be in your inner circle and who's not allowed in your inner circle anymore. Number 7. This one I think we've all heard before. It's a cliche, but it's true. Hurt people hurt people. Bullies are insecure people who are deeply damaged, and that is such a shame for them, but they also make it a shame for everyone else who they bully. People who are upset and hurting in their own lives try and make other people upset and try and hurt other people because that's all they know. If they haven't been taught how to love themselves and they haven't grown up in a loving environment, how are they meant to know how to love you and be nice to you? I think it's best to send those kinds of people lots and lots of love and protect them in a little bubble of love and light because they really, really need it. Number 8. Gossiping makes you feel like rubbish, so stop doing it. No one benefits from gossiping. What's the point of talking about someone else if you're not taking inspiration or you're not hyping them up? There's just no point in it. Don't do it. Number 9. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm sure you've heard that one too. Stop going onto that person's account and seeing all of the wonderful things they're doing, how they always look flawless, how they always look so beautiful and tanned, and they're always going to all these different places. You are only seeing their highlight reels, you're not seeing the inner works of their life. You're comparing someone else's highlight reels to your bad days and your worst days. Stop doing that. If you physically can't help by clicking on their profile and looking through all their pictures all the time, block them. Physically make yourself unable to do so. Unfollow them. Do whatever you have to do to not compare yourself. You are perfect the way you are and you don't need to compare yourself to anyone. The only person you need to compare yourself to is you yesterday. Are you doing better than yourself yesterday or a year ago? If so, you're winning, and that's all that matters. Number 10. Jealousy is actually twisted inspiration. This one took me a while to realise actually, but when you see something that someone else has or they do or they wear and you feel kind of jealous, like you feel a bit like you initially want to hate because you're jealous, instead of feeling that jealousy and just wishing you had that thing, take a little screenshot and put it on your Pinterest board. Remember that thing and use it as inspiration, like, oh my god, she's going travelling all the time, I could go travelling all the time. Take things that you used to feel jealous about, take them as inspiration. Start looking at them with awe, and if they can do it, so can you. Number 11. Cringing at your past self means you've grown. Number 12. Forgiveness is crucial to letting go and moving on. Forgive yourself for the person you have been. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made. Everything that has happened in our lives has got us to this point where we are now, and we need to be so grateful for that. If we wouldn't have made those mistakes, if those people wouldn't have hurt us, we wouldn't be where we are now. We need to be so grateful for that. Thank those experiences and move on. 13. People get snatched out of your life because they're not going where you're going anymore. This one's a difficult one. They no longer align with who you are and who you're becoming, and sometimes those people just can't come with you. It's like on a plant. When the plant grows, the bottom leaves that were with the plant, they were growing and they were best friends. Sometimes those bottom leaves need to drop off so you can grow more. You know? Thank them for their time and the experiences you shared together and move on. Carry on living your best life. Number 14. Your past comes back to test you. Your past doesn't come back to say that you're going backwards or as a sign that everything's going tits up. It's not coming back to annoy you, it's coming back to show you how much you've grown. Your past comes up in different ways to see if you've learnt from your old mistakes and to see if you're actually going to act differently in the same situations that used to come up all the time. An example of this could be setting boundaries with someone. Someone could completely treat you the way they used to treat you, and if you don't change the way you treat them, you're going to be falling backwards. But if you see this past come up and you think, what's going on? Like, I thought I moved on from this. This is your chance to prove yourself right and that you can move on and you can do better than what you used to do. 15. You don't need alcohol to have fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sober girly. I mean, I'll have a little drink here and there, but usually it makes me feel really rubbish when I have a drink because of who I used to be when I did have alcohol. I don't align with that version of myself anymore, and I know that I can have so much fun without being separated from my mind, and that doesn't make me not fun for wanting to go to bed early and wake up early the next morning and not feel hungover. So if you're also not drinking alcohol, you're not alone. 16. Stop waiting for people to treat you the way you want to be treated. This one takes a while to learn and get in my brain. Stop waiting for your friends, your partners, your parents, whoever else you're around to treat you the way you want to be treated. Stop waiting for them to tell you that they're proud of you for achieving a certain thing. Even if it's a tiny thing, celebrate it yourself. Celebrate yourself. Stop waiting for others to do it for you. Show yourself that you deserve to be treated this way. If you would love to come home to a candlelit bath and a lovely home-cooked meal, do that for yourself. I know some people won't want to hear that, but you can do it yourself. Honour yourself and show yourself that you deserve to be treated that way by actually treating yourself that way. 17. Decluttering is self-care. Oh my god, decluttering, physically letting go of old things and old memories, things that tie you to your past, is just so freeing and cathartic. It helps you release so much energy emotionally, physically and spiritually, I think. If I could recommend one thing, is you go and declutter your room right now. When you declutter, you literally open your space for more new exciting things to flow into your space and into your life. I love everything about it. 18. Lean into what feels good. Even if it's an unrealistic Pinterest board that you keep looking at and you think, I'd love to have a house like that, I'd love to go on holiday to a place like that. If it's giving you that excitement and that bubble of life, hold on to that and ride that wave for as long as you possibly can. Even if people think, oh, getting a bit obsessed with talking about that thing now, if it's bringing you joy, keep going. If you're feeling that excitement, it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually think you're going to get that specific thing, but if you're feeling the excitement and the joy from it, you're going to be feeling good all throughout your day, all throughout your month. So why not think about something that's going to make you feel good? 19. Be yourself and the right people will find you. If you're being yourself, someone who is on the same level as you, same energy, will be drawn straight to you. They'll be like, she's my kind of girl, go straight towards you. But if you're like hiding and you're like not being yourself, you're masking who you really are, how are the people out there meant to know that you're so cool and they want to be friends with you? How are you expecting to make real connections and strong friendships if you're not being your true self? Because one way or another, your true self will eventually come out, and if those people don't like the real you and they only liked you from you being fake, they're not real friends. So just be yourself. Number 20. Taking risks is a bold move and it can be scary, but it pays off. I took a huge risk in 2024 by spending quite a lot of money on getting some artwork framed. It was an investment with my business and it was really scary. A lot of people around me didn't agree with it. I actually didn't tell a lot of people because I knew I would be judged for it. Even my parents weren't too sure about spending that kind of money on a frame. But the day I went to pick up the artwork with the finished frame, it had actually been sold for nearly 3 times the amount I paid for the frame. So risks pay off. If it feels good to you and you know in your soul this is the move and step you need to take it and keep it quiet. 21. If you keep waiting to be ready, you will never be ready. Stop waiting around for the perfect moment or for your hair to look perfect or to be wearing the right outfit. Stop waiting and take action. Number 22. If you don't ask, you don't get. If you're not putting yourself out there and you're not saying what you want, how are people meant to know that you're an option? How are people meant to know that you're interested in that thing if you're not making it obvious? Even simply reaching out and asking a question about a certain product, a certain brand deal, a certain opportunity, you're putting yourself in that radar and who knows what could happen from then. Make your interests known so people know you're an option. 23. This one makes me want to scratch my eyeballs out sometimes, but it's true. So many people, and I mean so many people, will not believe in you and your goals and your aspirations until they see it happen. This one kind of sucks, but you can't take it personally. Remember what we said earlier about people projecting? People are just projecting their own limiting beliefs and fears onto you and your goals. Don't let other people not believing in you stop you from believing in yourself. Go away from this video believing in yourself and know that I believe in you with every fibre of my being. You can literally do anything you want to achieve. 24. Last but not least, people will only go as deeply with you as they have gone with themselves. Let that one sink in for a sec. Over the past couple years, I've realised that so many people are terrified of what they'll find if they start going inwards and realise who they've been and who they are. You might find that you're an open book and you're letting everyone read pretty much every one of your pages, whereas other people are closed books and you just can't seem to get through to them, but you've been so nice and they've read all of your pages. Why can't you read theirs? That's because they're not willing to go that deep. They haven't read those pages themselves, so why would they let you read them? They don't know what they say. They don't understand themselves, and it's intimidating to see when someone does go so deeply with themselves. People get scared of people who know themselves and love themselves because it means that they've done the work and they've gone inwards to figure out what's going on inside of them, and these people cannot handle that. Sometimes these people can be people that have actually been quite close to you. You didn't realise how little they were willing to do for themselves. A lot of people just don't go inwards because they're scared of what they'll find. And that's okay. At this point in time, these people aren't for you. If they're not willing to do the work at the same time you're willing to do the work, move on. Find some people who will. These lessons were in no particular order. Let me know if you've learned anything similar. I could probably come up with a million lessons I've learned in 2024, but those are the top 24. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope this helped you in some way, shape or form, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.